Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Dimples on Demand, and in today's video I just want to share an event that happened to me last month while I was doing a DoorDash order. So I do DoorDash, I do the apps from time to time, and I was working one evening. It was a Friday, and I was just picking up here and there, and an order came through from Total Wine, and it was paying pretty decent. It was for 2 customers. And when you shop at Total Wine, you don't have to do any shopping. You just go in. Well, at least where I live. I don't know if this is the same everywhere, but I just go in, show my ID, and they give me the alcohol. So the order came in. I was about 10 minutes from the location. I ended up driving up there, getting the products, and I headed off to my first delivery. The first delivery had quite a few items. It was like at least 6 bottles of alcohol. Anyway, so I proceeded to go to the customer's home, and when I got there, he lived in a it's like a community. I think it's like a mix of apartments and perhaps condos, but it was a huge community. And this is one where I drive past the community all the time, but I've never had a delivery there. Like I said, it was Friday, and I don't know if you know, but in New Jersey, I live in New Jersey, it gets so dark here. Like especially now it's fall, by 6:30, 7 o'clock, it's pitch black. Like it feels like the middle of the night. So that particular night, it was raining or misty, or raining on and off, I should say. And it was really, really, really dark. I'm not sure why it's so dark here, or they feel like we don't need lights to see. And especially me moving from Brooklyn, when I first got here, I was like, no, it's too dark to even operate, but you kind of get used to it. So I ended up getting to the location that DoorDash instructed me to drive to. So when I got there, the numbers didn't match. The numbers on the units did not match his address. So, of course, I proceeded to call, and I was very polite. I said, hi, this is your DoorDash driver. I've arrived at the location that the app has instructed me to go to, but I don't see your unit number. And he was very snarky, well, what order is this? So I was like, excuse me? He said, what order is this? Is it the first order or the second order? Because I ordered 2 things. I said, well, I'm not aware of what you ordered in your previous, order, but I am delivering an alcohol order that contains Hennessy. I started to list off the things that he had in the order. And he was like, okay, well, it's really not that hard to find where I live. So I said, okay. So, when some people give you directions, they're like, make a left, make a right, make another left, 2 rights. He was going so fast when he started to give me the address. And I felt like, sir, I don't live here. I don't live here. It's very dark. It's raining. Take the time to help me help you. I don't live here. So as he started to rapid fire, give me the address, I listened to him and I said, okay. So as I proceeded to hang up, he was like, I'm not finished. So I let him finish because he took a long pause. I thought he was finished. So I then hang up the phone and I proceed to try to find this location. So like I told you, it's a mix of apartment buildings and condos. I don't know which one is which. And the numbers, or the building or unit numbers, was so difficult. It was a mix of letters and numbers, right? But it wasn't in a chronological order. It was 1, 2, A, B, D, 3, 4. It was so confusing. So I tried my best to find where he was. I ended up seeing a woman. She was walking her dog. And remember, it's very dark and it's very late. So I kind of slow down to try to get to her. I roll my window down because I'm sure she's looking at me like, well, who the heck is this? And I'm looking at her the same way because she has a dog, because I'm afraid of dogs. So I rolled the window down. I was like, hi, I'm looking for building 11. And she said, I think it's up the hill, but she doesn't live there. She really doesn't know. And I was like, okay, thank you so much. So I ended up turning around, going up the hill. And again, it's not like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not like that. Like, the buildings were so confusing. The signage didn't help at all. So then I ended up pulling into another section, and still I can't find his location. So then I sat there for a little while, and my high beams are on because, again, it's very, very dark. So I sat there trying to like figure out where I am, trying to zoom in on the DoorDash map because it's like I'm close, but I'm not close. So then I end up seeing a couple, and poor them, they came out, the high beams were shining in their eyes. And I said to them, do you know where building 11 is? And the girl, same thing. The guy was like, huh? So then the girl responded, and she was like, I think you have to go up the hill, make a right, then go down the hill. This is a huge complex, right? So she's like, up the hill, down the hill, make a right, blah, 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 blah. And she thinks, she's really not certain. So I said, okay, I thanked her, came out of that area, and proceeded to locate this gentleman. So by this time, he calls me. I ended up answering, and he was like, you're still not here yet? So I said, sir, like, it's very difficult to find where you're located, and I am trying my best. I'm telling you, as I'm speaking to you is exactly how I was speaking to him. So he's like, it's really not that hard to find. Like, I don't understand. So then I said, sir, it's very dark. Number one, it's very dark. You have a lot of items. Like, I had to carry it like in a case or whatever. And I don't like the way that you're speaking to me. You're telling me it's not that hard to find. You don't need to speak to me that way. I said, I'm not a person that doesn't understand general communication, but I don't like the way that you're speaking to me, because at that point it's like so frustrating because I still couldn't find his place. So I ended up like coming, I guess, the closest I could possibly come to wherever his apartment was located. And of course, again, I'm in New Jersey, so there are deer in the parking lot, like deer with the antlers. So I am afraid of them. So now I kind of have to wait for them to scurry along or whatever. And he's like, yeah, continuing on. Oh, it's not that hard. All you have to do is come down. Like, even when I was close to his location, I still had to go down 2 flights, because it's like wherever his building was, you had to go down like in a valley to access his apartment. So of course I'm carrying the heavy items. It's raining or misty, so it's slippery and it's dark. So I said to him, like, I really kind of went off, like, I don't like the way you're talking to me. I'm not a person that doesn't understand directions. Like, I don't feel comfortable. I remember repeating that. I don't feel comfortable. I do not feel comfortable. So I ended up hanging up the phone. And like I said, I don't feel comfortable. So I'm a woman, right? I do live in New Jersey where anything can happen, but things don't happen. At least I have not experienced anything. I hope to never experience anything. So I usually don't have fear in my heart, but for some reason, I just felt I didn't feel good. I didn't feel good at all. And I ended up, like, you know, you have things in your car to try to protect you. So I ended up making sure that I had whatever I had, and I got his items and proceeded to go down the 2 flights of stairs to find him. So I'm like in the grass, my sneakers are wet. I get to the area, and then I have to cross another patch of grass. I promise you, even in the daytime, this place would have been very, very difficult to find. So in his notes, he's like, oh, come in, the door is open. I'm not coming into your place. Like, no, I'm not coming in. So I ended up getting to his unit, and the door was cracked. So now I'm thinking it's a young person ordering Hennessy. Like, who's drinking Hennessy leisurely? I'm thinking it's a huge party. This man comes, he's an older guy, but not too old that he can't do something to me. So he comes to the door in his underwear. And I'm just like, if I didn't feel uncomfortable before, which I did, like, it's amplified at this point. So I'm trying my best to, like, balance, because you can't give them the alcohol, right? So I'm trying my best to balance the box and take his ID because you know that you need ID. So he gives me a passport, and I'm just like, it's so difficult to, yes, a passport is valid ID, but it was so difficult to try to see because it's dark and enter his information into my phone. So I'm like, do you not have a driver's license? He's like, no, this is all I have. And then it took me a good like 3 minutes. So as I'm standing there, he still is going on like, it's really not that hard to find. I said, sir, I'm here now, but I'm letting you know the way that you're speaking to me, I don't like it. And I'm very uncomfortable. I just kept repeating those words. I'm very uncomfortable. And I'm repeating it loud enough so that his neighbors could hear. I am very uncomfortable. So I think as my voice began to escalate, he's just like, okay, let me just stop. So I ended up giving him his ID, and he's like, oh, have a good night. I said nothing. I made sure that as my back was turned to him, I had my hand in my pocket. So again, nothing happened to me, but it just was not a good feeling because it was dark. And then why are you coming to the door in your underwear? Like, it doesn't make any sense. What are you doing? Seriously, what are you doing? So I ended up proceeding to the next drop off, but I'm shook. I was trembling. So as I'm en route to the next customer, I call DoorDash because I'm still like not over it, honestly. So I ended up calling DoorDash, and you got to get through the prompts. It's an emergency, blah, blah, blah. So I get to the second person's house, which was maybe like 7 minutes from where the previous customer was. I get there and I ring the bell. It's also very dark, but he did have a porch light on. You know what I'm saying? So I rang the bell because I'm flustered. Like, I just want to drop this off and go. So I ring the bell and a dog starts to bark. Again, I'm very much afraid of animals. I don't care if it's a hamster or if it's the biggest dog. I am terrified. So the dog starts to bark, but that's okay. And then someone opens the door. So I see this huge dog, and I kind of jump back because I'm on the phone with DoorDash on speaker, like waiting to speak to someone. Or I spoke to someone and they kind of put me on hold, so I was waiting for her to come back. So I'm on the phone. I have the alcohol, which he didn't have a lot of items. I have the alcohol, and then this guy opens the door. It's another man. So I'm like scared. So I kind of jumped back. I said, oh. And then he was like, yeah, that's why I put in the instructions. Don't ring the doorbell. So I don't know. I don't know what happened to me. But when he said that, I said, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. I just kept apologizing. I'm so sorry. And then he looked at me. I said, I just had a customer that came to the door in his underwear. Like, he was so rude to me, and it was so dark. I just then start to pour out like what happened to me with the other customer. So the guy, he's like, what? I said, yeah, I had this. And I start to cry. Like, I start to cry. I don't know what was going on. Like, maybe I was bottling, can't even say, my emotions up. I don't know, but I just start crying. So I'm like, yeah, I just kept repeating. I felt so uncomfortable. So then it's full on tears. The DoorDash person is like, I'm so sorry that this happened to you. And I'm bawling. Meanwhile, I still have to verify this person's ID. So I'm crying, and then he says to his wife, because the wife was like at the door as well, he said to his wife, get me a bottle of water for her, please. So now I'm apologizing. I'm like, oh no, it's okay. It's okay. I was just so uncomfortable. And then I'm crying. Even my eyes are watering now. So I'm crying. So then I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to verify the ID. The ID verification was not going through, like, at all. And I'm like, this not even going through. So he had to like walk me through it. He's like, it's okay. Like, just take your time. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. So he's directing me because I'm so flustered. I ended up verifying his ID. And then he's just like, just take it easy. It's going to be okay. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm just going to go home. And then he said, nobody deserves this. You know what I'm saying? So he was comforting. And then his wife was like looking at me. I ended up going back to my car. And I think I sat in front of his house for at least 3 minutes and just cried. Like, just cried. Tears, like crying. So the DoorDash person is still on the phone. They're verifying the customer, the drop off, the name. And I told them, I said, the directions that you guys are giving us to get to this person's location, it doesn't match. It's like the pin is dropping us one place and this gentleman was a whole nother area. So I said, that was the first incident. I said, secondly, it was dark. Secondly, or third, it was raining. And then the customer was just so rude. He was so rude and so nasty. Like, yeah, I'm doing these deliveries, but that doesn't mean that I'm less of a person. Like, I'm not rude to you. I was very polite. My cadence in which I was speaking to you, diction, everything was fine. And I just didn't like it. So the DoorDash person or representative took all my information. She apologized and she said, I have to transfer this to another level, like someone higher than her. So then someone else comes on the phone and I was just like, honestly, I can't help but to think about the worst that could have happened to me. Like, I just want to make a few dollars here and there. And this gentleman could have pulled me into his house, could have completely taken advantage of me. And he's not a nice person. Like, he's very, very rude, very nasty. So the next person that I spoke to, she apologized as well. She took on the story, listened to the story. And I said, I never, ever even want to deliver to that cluster of units. I never want to go there again. So she ended up blocking him, or this is what she said, because I can't believe nothing that they say. She ended up blocking this guy, I don't even know if it's possible, blocking him or blocking me from ever receiving his delivery. In my opinion, he does not need to have the privilege to ever have delivery ever again. So I was told that someone was going to reach out to me to get further information. I did receive an email like shortly after I disconnected from the representative, but nothing else. DoorDash never followed up. And it's unfair, like not protecting the employees. And again, I am a woman, but men too, like anything could happen to anyone. I was just trying to make a few extra dollars here and there, but I felt I was just rocked. I went right home. I cried some more on the way home and I went home and that was it. I didn't do any more orders. But anyway, I just wanted to share that story with you guys. It was so uncomfortable. I just did not feel safe. And yes, I choose to do these deliveries, but I just want to do my job and go home. So I just wanted to give this message to you guys to protect yourself when you're out here doing deliveries. And what should have happened when I got to his location is I should have just called DoorDash then and there and told them I could not do the order and taken that alcohol back. I had no problem taking the alcohol back to the store. And that's what I should have done. But, you just kind of want to complete the delivery. So just be careful, guys. Please. It is scary. These are some trying times and not everybody has it all together. So be careful when you're out there and just take it one day at a time. Thank you guys for coming to watch this video. This is Dimples on Demand again. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.